One. All right, guys, we're here. We're here with John Vaughn. What's going on? Welcome. And guys, I'm excited to dig in today. We're going to be talking about how to convert more clients and customers with some cool softwares and tools. So if you guys still have not gotten in on the $1 Agency Accelerator, make sure, I always fuck this up. So if you guys haven't gotten the info on the $1 Agency Accelerator, make sure you guys drop an emoji and I'll get you guys info on that. But you know, John, why don't you share your screen, because you're gonna be taking over here and be doing lots of the training. But we've done lots of different trainings. We've told you how to create invoices and how to create custom, carts. We've showed you how to go out there and generate leads and prospects basically out of thin air. And so today what we're going to focus on is how do you really create a really engaging experience on the bot, and then how can you do some cool things with websites and specifically, Zapier and a couple of other tools and softwares that we have. So thanks again for hanging out, John. I appreciate you always taking the time, dude.
Yeah. So you want me to share my screen, man? I just realized I just realized that I'm not actually doing that yet. So.
No worries. I'll tee you up a little bit. And if are you at your computer?
Yeah, I'm totally at my computer. You should be able to see my screen now, right?
Not quite yet. Okay, yeah, it should be good. I think you're good now. I don't know why I don't see it. That's bizarre. Yeah, you're good though.
You can see it in the Zoom. Make sure you're checking the Zoom and not the Facebook, man.
Yeah, that's what they can see your screen. There you are. All right, perfect. So good. Okay, so we've got a couple of softwares up in the $1 Agency Accelerator, and the Agency Accelerator, the package and the bundle of softwares is to give you all the tools that you need to create a chatbot agency. And even more than that, frankly, John, these tools can all be used to build any type of marketing agency, but specifically you've geared them to really, help agency owners. So let's talk a little bit about what these tools can do and why you created them, because a lot of people wanted to take the experience from the bot and be able to take it to the website, right? And a lot of tools out there, the chat fuels, the many crashes, they don't actually allow you to effectively track what's going on a website. And there's some softwares out there that specifically do that. But you've built a tool to really take the engagement, or to take the experience off of the chatbot and to put it on the website. Do you have anything that you want to share maybe about kind of the softwares and why you designed them, or maybe the kind of where they came from initially? Because I know all of the softwares that you build are always really rooted in some real use cases. So maybe you have like a reason why you designed this for you guys, because I know all of these you guys use at tier 5. So is there anything that you want to share about the tools specifically at first?
Yeah, obviously lots, Hector. So we're talking about two of them. We're talking about essentially a Magic Zap and Link Wizard, right? And Link Wizard really, I think, is really self-explanatory. So we can kind of go over that later, because it's really simple. Like, this integration in a bot is really simple, and I think it's really self-explanatory. Link Wizard is, we wanted to be able to have shorter links to things that we're actually linking to, that we have more control over the link, that we can actually control where the final destination is. We can actually control the route to actually get there, and not share the final destination route all the time, and have a bridge, a third party, like a gatekeeper or watcher. So I think it's really I think it's really straightforward to understand Lead Wizard and understand what problem it solves and how it helps. So just to tackle that.
Two things, John. Can you minimize your the video, because it just puts like a black screen on the right. For whatever reason, Zoom does that. And so Link Wizard, really quickly, you can pixel people, you can change the description, and like you said, you can basically just hide the link of where you're going. So whether it's an ugly link or a really long URL, you can make it really easy to send other places. And what I think about this is the biggest thing is that you can create custom audiences right there through your links. So it's a super powerful tool in that regard. So awesome. So that's all the stuff that you can do. You can add a pixel, Facebook pixels, Google pixels. You can add tags to make them really easily found. So if you have different clients or you have different products or services, and then the description, that's basically just so you can find it easier. And what I love about the preview aspect of it is you can also change how it looks when you post the link. So it can grab the normal, link and description that it has on it, or you can update it and make it a specific picture, make it a specific headline and description as well, so that it is it's just a much more engaging title. So this is huge. I mean, people literally, like, there are softwares out there that are hundreds of dollars a month just for this, like these tools right here, which is big.
Yeah, and I could tell you like some of the, how to integrate this in the bot right now, Hector, is really, really straightforward and simple. It's just you make a short link, and then after you make a short link, you grab the short link, and then this one's a bad short link. It's anyways, ignore that one. It's a dirty link. All right. So it's pretty straightforward. You get the link, and then you share it in the chatbot. Now we have a roadmap.
I know it's simple, John, but we have to. It's gonna kill you. But can you open up Chat Fuel and can you literally just show them how to paste it into a button? Because I thought for some people, this seems easy, but like some people, they don't get necessarily how simple it can be. So you just paste it in a button. So he kind of showed it in right there, but you'll take one of those.
Yeah, you just are like, hey, here's this link right here.
And when they click that button, because the pixel is in there, you can actually track that and you can create the custom audience based on everybody that clicks that button. So if you want to know, hey, who's clicking, who's adding to cart, who's viewing this particular product, who's registering, who's going to the webinar, right? Whatever it is, you can actually know who's actually clicking. And consequently, you can know who's not clicking too, because you can obviously, do the logic that you have everybody who clicked in this group, and then you exclude those people, and then you have everybody else who didn't click. So this is a big way that you can actually create custom audiences right here for the bot.
That's right. And essentially, we got a bunch of stuff on the roadmap for this, Hector. We got a bunch of cool new products that are like cool new concepts that are coming out to this that is at that point going to make this killer in the bot, like being able to create like a group of links where you can from your bot, you can use like Zapier to actually create individual short link for each individual user, so that you can do those additional functions like pixel those people, but then still be able to see statistics as far as the final destination from an aggregated group level, if that makes sense to you. If it doesn't make sense to you, which I'm sure it does make sense to you, Hector, if it doesn't make sense to other people, that might not interest you, but if it does, then you probably realize that that's a game changer and what you can actually do with pixelizing people. We're also going to, whenever we dive into Magic Zap, which is what we're about to do, we're going to allow you the abilities to essentially in your scripts, paste other, in your short links, paste other scripts. Like you could paste your Magic Zap script inside the short link, and whenever somebody comes to the short link, all your third-party scripts are going to actually fire off whatever those scripts could be.
Wow.
So if it's a Magic Zap script, you can trigger your Zap process because somebody clicked that short link. That way you can trigger your Zaps on final destination links that you don't own. Obviously, if you own that domain, if you own where you're redirecting somebody, you can put your third-party scripts on that final destination. If you don't own it, if you're thinking about CNN, you can essentially put your script and follow up because they went to that website. Follow up with them in the chatbot or through email or everything you'll learn about that Magic Zap right there. And it has other uses as well, why you'd want to be able to do that. But as far as right now, like I said, we have a huge roadmap that we could talk about if needed. But I think right now the extent is this is pretty straightforward. You go and you create a short link however you want. And essentially, once you're done creating that short link, you're going to get the link. And for your chatbot, you're just going to put that guy in some button somewhere or in some card. You're going to put that link in. That's going to be the link they click. And that allows you to create a custom audience.
It's that simple. It really is that simple.
So we're pretty good to move on from there and go to Magic Zap.
Yeah, you've showed them before, but I always think giving people some context would be big. Do you have a demo of Magic Zap and kind of what it, because even for me, like that's what I'm trying to wrap my head around is the possibilities.
So here's one possibility, all right? Let's just show a demo, all right? You know this guy right here, all right? and he's actually not updated for some reason. But you know this guy right here, and you and your group have actually helped completely fund Chatbogo for the most part. So between my bot group and your bot group, Chatbogo got completely funded. And you can see what it says right here. Hi, Tier 5 is working hard building Chatbogo. And we are doing that, I mean, essentially. So right now, hard work we're doing is other stuff in Chatbogo, stuff that we can't really show or anything, especially because of the Facebook embargo. But anyways, this isn't about Chatbogo. This is about Magic Zap, right? So you see this right here. That's all I want to show you is just take a look at this right here. This is what happens if you go to Chatbogo. It just says, hi, Tier 5 is working hard building Chatbogo, all right? Now, if you come into my actual bot, and this is powered by Magic Zap. So to kind of show you, as I give you context of what's actually going on, we're going to look right inside Magic Zap, and we're going to look at this Chatbogo guy right here. And then we're just going to tell my chatbot, Magic Zap. Or actually, we're not going to tell it Magic Zap. We'll come back to this Magic Zap. This Magic Zap is going to be essentially deal with this other Zap right here, not the Chatbogo Zap, all right? First, let's look at the Chatbogo. To do that, we need to tell the chatbot Chatbogo, all right? I think that's what we need to tell the chatbot, and it tells us something about Chatbogo, right? So we're gonna hit view site. Now, if you see, whenever we hit view site, that it displays my name right here on the website, right?
So what Magic Zap does is allows you to customize website experiences from the bot, right? I think like in a nutshell, that's kind of what it does.
That's one of the things. Yes, that's one of the things. You would also see like essentially if I went, let's say to here, and I open up this website from the bot, you'll see some distinct stuff here. Let's say I want to get some users to sign up. You can see that this form on the website has automatically been pre-filled with the bot user's information. So I've already collected this information in the bot and my pre-qualifying in whatever process I collect users' information. And now I need to send them to a website to sign up for a webinar or to pay for something. And I don't want him to fill out redundant data that I already have for him. So I just pre-fill that website with data from the chatbot using Magic.
So yeah, totally. I was sending out a broadcast so we can let people know, because people are like hungry for the training on this stuff. So
do you understand how powerful this just made your chatbot though?
Well, what it does is it creates an easy communication from the chatbot to almost anything else that Zapier connects with. I mean, like that's really what Magic Zap does, is it creates this easy link between, and not even just your chatbot, but it creates an easy link between anything in Zapier. And it's a super powerful tool. So one of the things is customizing, website experiences. Is there anything else that you think is a big use case that you've seen people get out of it?
Yeah, I mean, well, look at this one. All right. But this is also powered by Magic Zap. So look at this one. All right. This guy is actually, just viewing. This guy's just viewing this thing. So he's looked at your website and he's like, okay, well, I've got some, I want to know more about these guys. All right, so let's find out more about these guys. And then he's like, okay, well, let me see general questions, or let me maybe sign up, or let me just explore this website and do whatever I want on this website. All right, so now I'm done. And now, maybe he did something on your site, maybe you didn't. How do you actually know about that? Well, enter Magic Zap. You'll see within a few minutes, sometimes a few seconds, within a few minutes, and that's based on your Zapier plan. All right. Essentially, this guy, you can either send a notification back to him, or you can, maybe it's not a notification, maybe it's just a silent thing that you've done in the back end, either in your CRM or in your chatbot, or wherever you're storing information about this particular user, this subscriber, this obviously prospect or lead, that you can increase them. You can do some lead scoring, right? You can have some more information and know what all he's went and done, what touch points you've actually had with him, and what interactions he's done out of the bot on your actual website or some site, any little website or landing page that you're going to send them out to. So if you wait for a second, this will happen. I can go force it, obviously. If I want, I can go force it to run.
What do you have happening in the background here?
In the background, you can just actually see here, I've got this happening right here. So I'm listening to Magic Zap, and I'm saying, hey, Magic Zap, if you if somebody goes to any website that has this particular script installed on the website, then I want you to fire off information. All right. So, and part of the information that you're going to hand me is that website traffic must have a URL parameter. So that guy, whenever he comes here, he has to come here and you have to send him with, in this case, a URL parameter that has some MID. And here you would populate some value, which I'll show you in the chatbot, just like this, a link just like this, that you put in the button. And then you can see he just triggered off, right? I haven't done anything yet. He just triggered off. If you look and see, you just visited my website, text in bulk. You just visited my website, invoicingyou.com. You just visited my website, invoicingyou.com/about us/FAQ. Also got an inferred location. So you also now can take a really good accurate guess where this user is, unless this guy's like a hacker or tech savvy guy and he's going off a VPN. So unless he's going off a VPN, you have a pretty accurate guess to the radius of where in the world this user's actually located. So now I know this dude just went to four of my websites and, was at four of my websites, and I know where he's at in the world. So that's kind of useful. I could have made those websites, obviously, text in bulk. When I sent them there, I pre-populated the form data already on text in bulk. So if it's just like sign up for a webinar, I just made it so easy for him. One click, right? I already got his information. He needs to go sign up, pre-populate the form, one click for him, done, end of story. Not only one click for him, done, end of story, one click of him, done, end of story. Also very easily got a positive reinforcement loop now back in the bot. Also talked back to the bot and said, yo, dude came here. And so now he's here.
This shit is powerful. Okay. So when we talked about like tracking, especially for e-commerce stuff, you said that it would be kind of difficult to plug in. So I'm just going to kind of ask a selfish question here. It would be kind of difficult, or not difficult, but it would require some work to integrate with Shopify. So let's take people through the steps here of how to get this set up, because essentially all I'm seeing is that you need to put that script onto the website, and that is almost all that you need to do in order to get it set up. Or am I missing some steps?
That's all you need to do to get it set up. Other than there is a set, if you want to, so there's two parts essentially. For what we saw here with, let's say, Chatbogo, to be able to have this dynamic content, that's one part. That's essentially just going to Magic Zap, creating the Zap, and installing the script on the website. For the secondary part, the actual notifications, hey, you've been to my website, Chatbogo, thanks a lot. For this secondary notification, for this feedback loop, that's essentially just a Zap that we need to create in Zapier as far as what the workflow is. Let's say like I'm sending an email, so once the user visits my website, I want to follow up with them with an email. Hey, I noticed you went to our pricing page, but I didn't see you order anything. Did you have any questions or something like that? So the secondary part would just be setting up the Zap for what to do once a user actually goes to a web page that has Magic Zap installed, and whatever URL parameters we wanted to send are present in that URL. That way it doesn't trigger for all traffic, because like for me, for this Zap, I only want it to trigger for people out of the bot. Now, keep in mind, you wanted to know that little information, Hector, like why we built this. We built this specifically to do this for bots. We built this specifically so that from your chatbot, whenever somebody actually went to your website, you had a way to go in and actually schedule a follow-up with that person, just because of the fact that they actually clicked a link and physically landed on your website and were physically on your website, right? We built that specifically for that. And after building it, we're like, hey, wouldn't it also be cool when you send that person to your website that you could customize the content and you could pre-fill forms, or you could, reference his name or his age, or do different things on the website based on information that you already know about that user. And now it just so happens that if you're doing SMS marketing or email marketing and you're sending out links to people that you already have collected some information about, then this becomes really useful to you as well. But essentially, yes, it is that simple as creating your little Zap. And once you create your little Zap, you're going to get this little script right here, and you're just going to paste that script somewhere on your website, depending on your website builder. You're going to paste it into the body code of your website, depending on your website builder. If you're using Clickfunnels I thought I had a ClickFunnels pulled up somewhere, but I guess I don't. If you're using ClickFunnels, that's relatively easy. You could go to some funnel, and then inside that funnel, you could just go edit the actual settings and go to your body tracking code and just place that script right inside there, and then you're done. So now your data will be dynamic, and then you just need to go in and actually create the Zap. And the Zap, you're just going to go and use the Zapier integration, and you're going to pick whatever Zap it is that holds that script. So, and it can support multiple websites. Like this says Invoicing You, and this is literally installed. The same script is literally installed on all these sites here. All three of these sites that the demo's for have the same exact script installed on them. And I just have a Zap that essentially says, hey, whenever you hear a new action from Invoicing You, start this workflow. And in order for a new action on Invoicing You to happen, essentially there must be a MID field in the URL parameter. So that means if you send a user to text in bulk, he must contain this guy right here. If he does not contain this guy right here, if this is missing, then what would happen in this instance is you'd still pre-fill out the form, but this actual workflow in Zapier would never trigger because you're missing the required field that you gave for your Zap to actually trigger. So these fields, if you put these fields in here, you can dedicate conditions which must be met for the Zapier process to fire. These fields down here reference things on your actual website, like in Chatbot, we saw the name, elements on your website that you want to pre-populate with data, that you want to stuff data into based on URL parameters. So,
all right. So, can we? How simple do you think it would be? Given the Shopify kind of thing, I'd like to give people a demo on how to set some of this stuff up. So, guys, if you guys are here and you guys have questions, definitely throw those down there. If you guys want access to the $1 agency accelerator, where you get to have access to all of these softwares for a whole week, along with all these trainings, just drop an emoji. But John, what one other use case that I'm thinking about is scheduling, like people. A lot of obviously local businesses, dentists, chiros, a lot of these kind of patient-oriented businesses, they rely on front desk to schedule people, and it's kind of one of the most inefficient things like out there. So do you see how this could integrate with some sort of scheduling softwares, or how it could integrate somehow so that people could schedule people easily? Like I'm seeing that it could, like, it might be possible, but I don't necessarily see how all the dots connect with the softwares. Do you see how that might work out?
So scheduling, I mean, yes, scheduling would just, the way that I would think it would work out would just be right after this, right? So essentially, you want to schedule some appointment with somebody based on the fact that they went to your website, right? That's what you're saying?
Correct.
So this is your process that determines, hey, I need to schedule something. So that means essentially, what that means is essentially in your website, whatever website you're sending them to. You see how I'm sending them to this website, and I've included some information here. All right. I've included some. Essentially for a McGeek perspective, I've encoded data in this URL that I can access. Right. I know their name, I know their email, I know their phone number. So essentially, you need to make sure that the person that you're sending to the website that you're wanting to schedule some type of appointment with, that you have enough information about them already to schedule that recording or schedule that meeting, right? You'll want to send them to the website. Once they go to the website, you'll have a Zap there, and that Zap will be something just like this. It will catch that information, and you'll have some action here that will tie into your actual scheduler. So let's say you want to add something into your Google Calendar. You put in a Google Calendar right here, and you would reference data coming from the actual Zap. So in an ideal scenario, you're going to know all the information as you create this actual Zap. So I guess the first, I guess one of the
we don't necessarily have to go through all of that. I'm really just kind of curious if you see that as a use case, because it seems like there may be like one thing with like Calendly. A lot of people use Calendly, but connecting Calendly with the bot is not like pre-populating that information and getting the bot to know that they just booked something in Calendly is not the easiest, right? Are you familiar with Calendly?
Yeah, kind of, sort of. It's kind of like Google Calendar. So
yeah, it just integrates with Google Calendar. So basically what happens is that, you get a link from Calendly, that's your scheduling link. And on the back end, Calendly integrates with Zapier, and telling Zapier that an appointment was booked with Calendly is not a problem, but telling the bot that telling Calendly that this person is coming from the bot is a challenge. So it's not really seamless. It's just kind of like, I guess the bot doesn't know that someone actually booked an appointment on Calendly. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. It seems like that would be kind of hard for this. That would be kind of hard for this to solve unless we're not getting any input from the user as far as when to schedule the appointment.
Got it. Okay, so do you see this as like, could you kind of build in your own? I'm just kind of thinking all over the place here, right? But this could also, I'd imagine, be utilized to build in some sort of scheduler, right? Within it, and then to ship out that information to Google Calendar or something. But let's move on. You had a really simple Clickfunnels example here. So can we kind of dive into that? A lot of people, I think, would be curious to see how this would actually work, specifically with Clickfunnels and how we could do it. So like maybe if we want to track, because I know Opesta is a platform right now that's getting a lot of traction because you can track website visitors, and they partner with Clickfunnels because that's the whole basis of their platform, is that you can track website visitors. So can you kind of walk through maybe how, I know you kind of set up the, you installed the script, but maybe we can walk through setting up the Zap and how, it would actually come back on that second step as well.
So I think we could do something, let me see kind of like what we could do here. We could probably go in and add some, let's see, custom HTML and JavaScript. All right.
It's glitchy. You got to add it again. Sometimes it doesn't add.
Yeah, that's why we need to rebuild Clickfunnels. So let me just do this and try it again. All right. So we could just say, something like this, and this is really simple. So all I'm doing is actually just creating some little things to, I'm just creating some little things to put my data in. So I'm creating a little place to put in, to put in somebody's first name and put in somebody's last name. All right. So that's pretty straightforward there, what I've just done, right? Essentially, that's all that's here in Chatbogo. If you look here in Chatbogo and you look down here, you can see that there's just a little bit of HTML, really simple HTML code here. Got a span ID, F name, a span ID, L name. You can call them whatever you want. So that's all I'm calling them there. So that guy should be good. All right, and then he's also going to need, let's say, a magic Zap. So I need to figure out in Clickfunnels, this looks like Click Connect. So good night, Topos. This looks like Click Connect. So it looks like this guy right here. So I'm just going to put him in here, and I'm gonna add a URL parameter because my intention here is for me to be sending people from my bot to this website here and wanting to do something whenever they come to that website. So since they're coming from my bot, I want to, my feedback loop, I want it to be inside my bot. So in order to contact them in my bot, I need to know essentially their page scoped user ID, which for ManyChat, that's their ManyChat ID. For ChatFuel, that's that ChatFuel ID. Essentially, it's their Facebook page scoped ID that ManyChat and ChatFuel could possibly give me by saying, hey, this is their user ID. And that is going to be dynamic coming from the bot platform whenever I built that dynamic link. So I want to say, hey, this guy must exist, because what I'm going to do is whenever somebody comes to my website and essentially they have some data like this in there, which this data right here is hopefully a valid messenger ID, I'm going to trigger a process in Zapier that will allow me to access any of the data that I've got encoded in the URL and then do whatever I want with, i.e. go to ChatFuel and send out a broadcast, or go to ManyChat and send out a message or a piece of content to the user, or fire some API or do whatever else I decide I want to do with this data that's coming in the URL. All right, so that's all I'm going to do there. And I'm also going to go in and say, hey, I've got a first name, and I'm pretty sure in my HTML, I gave him a ID. I'm going to give this guy a name instead. All right, you see what I did? I just have an ID called first name. So I'm going to create a first name and make sure he's an ID. And I'm going to have a last name. So I'm going to give a last name and make sure he's a name. And I'm going to say that's done. And I guess it's this guy right here called some name. Oh, it's not some name. It's this guy right here. Clickfunnels. I thought I gave it a name. And it looks like I did. So now I'm going to copy this guy, get this script, and then essentially I'm going to come over here and I can put it here, but I think essentially I need to save this. I think I've already put it somewhere.
Yeah, they have tracking for the whole funnel, and then they have tracking for individual.
Yeah, I think I put it there in the tracking for the whole funnel already. So I'm just going to make sure this guy's saved. And then go to this funnel settings.
John, can you jump back to the Magic app and to the settings within that?
Yeah, if you let me put this code in here first, then yeah. So you mean these settings here?
Yeah. Can you go to the edit there? So the parameters are basically that's making sure that it's only going to fire if those conditions are met, right? The parameters essentially conditions.
So in order, essentially, if you were to go to Zapier, all right, and in Zapier you were to go in and say, hey, when a new Zap happens in Magic Zap and it happens to be that Click Connect, that one that we just now created, and it happens to be that one, all right, then do whatever process is that's coming right here, all right? So for this particular instance, for the Click Connect, in order for this Zap to actually fire that we've just created, there must be a requirement that whenever a user comes to whatever website that this script is installed on, whether it's Click Connect or abc.com, who cares? Whatever script that we got from here, right? We got some script right here, and we went and copied that and pasted it on some website. So whenever a user comes to a website that has that script installed on it, inside the URL parameter, there must be some magic, some MID. There must be a parameter called MID. Now, there doesn't have to be any value. It could have a 0 value. It could have a null value, meaning it could have something else like this, and name equals John, and that's valid, but it just must have this parameter in the URL in order for this to fire. And we could change that, obviously, to say not exist, but to say to be equal or not equal. But for us, it just exists.
Got it. Can you do the same thing with the attributes? Because I think that, and what those specifically are?
So these attributes are specifically, we showed in ChatVago how whenever you came here, you see I'm coming to ChatVago right here. All right, and you see it just says hi. Now, if you see that it's got a hi right here, and right next to the hi, it's got a span tag that says, hey, I've got an ID of F name. So if I were to actually go in and do this and say F name equals Hector, then whenever I loaded this up, it would say, hi, Hector.
Got it.
And it does that because in the Chatbot Magic Zap, if you look in this Magic Zap, you'll see that I've defined and said, hey, if you find something in the HTML of this page and it has an ID of F name, which I did happen to find something right there. You see this span tag that I just found that has an ID of F name. I'm just saying, if you also find a URL parameter that has that same name, then I want you to fill in the data there.
Yeah. Got it.
So this works for your form. So essentially you saw on text in bulk, all right? We sent the text in bulk user, and whenever we set them there, we pre-populated his email. See, if I just change that to, demo and go back there, it will change to demo, right? We pre-populated this, and you see it's the same thing in Magic Zap. If we look at this Zap, this is the script that manages that. And if you look, you see we've got a name, we've got an email, we've got a phone, and they all have a name. And if we look right here on our form and we look there, we'll see that this guy is an input, and he has a name right here, and his name is email. So we just take the email parameter from the URL, and whatever value's in there, we just stuff it in there and pre-fill the form. So that's what those options do. Those options control what dynamic activity is going to actually happen on the website. These up here control the Zap process triggering and that Zap workflow triggering. These down here control changing the data on the actual website to be dynamic based on whatever data we're sending in with the URL when we send our user. A lot of the times we already have this data, right? Because a lot of the times when we send somebody to go visit a website, we're constantly collecting information because the more we collect, especially if we're selling something that has any value, right? The more we collect, the easier it's going to be to sell our stuff. So we already are having a lot of this information.
Yeah, it's great to be able to fill that in, especially for Clickfunnels users who they're all about, efficiency and upsells and downsells and all this stuff. And so if you could already have their name filled in and you can already have their email filled in before you send them to any page, for the people who are already using Clickfunnels, it's just an easy integration. So that's awesome. Okay. Can you show on Clickfunnels where they would find like the names of those specific attributes? I know you kind of you labeled them, but I think can you just kind of walk through that process? I think you probably have to go to
here. Let's see. Okay. Let's say you went to some. Let's look and see. Let's look and see some. This is Clickfunnels, okay? Now, if it's useful, I can come in here and I probably am gonna have to do it anyways because I don't have a script here. I can come in here and try to find where is this. Oh, there is right there. So there's this funnel. All right. So here's this funnel and it's got some information on it. I can just click inspect. And whenever I inspect this, I'm going to find a class. Good night, buddy. So he's got a name called name, okay? So he's already got that. All right, so you can see this is a Virgin Clickfunnels guy. All right, let's go back to Clickfunnels and let's take its virginity on this. This is that take action page, okay? So let's edit this take action page and let's go back over here to a Magic Zap and let's just come to this. Let's just come to this invoicing you guy right here and just change him and say also he's got a name and it's a name actually. So pretty sure we verified name is name. So name is name. Name is called name and name is an actual name. And that is this. There is a name and it's identified by a name. So this guy inherently should just work right now. If we copy this guy and then come over here to Clickfunnels and say, hey, let's edit our settings. And hey, leave all that shit. I didn't want to edit a pop-up because I don't want a pop-up. There shouldn't be a pop-up there. Get rid of that pop-up. We need to edit these settings, the tracking code settings, and we can put that in our footer code. Right there, just our Magic Zap script, and we can save that guy. But essentially, I'm just finding it by looking at this page. I'm just hitting inspect element, and this is highlighting this guy, and it's like, look, there's his name, there's his email. So it may say name, it may say ID, and whatever this information is here, I just need to match it up. I need to look inside here. When I highlight one of these guys and I look at it, look at the code for it, I want to look, and if I find, it doesn't matter. I find an ID or I find a name. I just need to find its ID or its name and just go into Magic Zap and essentially create a new one and either say, okay, I found the ID or I found the name, and then just paste in whatever information it said, you know, name equals this or ID equals that. That's pretty, I mean, that's pretty damn simple, to be honest, right, Hector? I mean, that's not so bad. That's pretty simple. It's just like,
no, it's super simple. I just think marketers are naive to this shit.
Yeah, right click, take a little look, found name first, go in, copy this, go into, go copy this guy. It's like, Control C, go in here and be like, hey, add a new one of these. And he was Control V and he was a name. Done. Wait some time, save this. Essentially now we can save this and come open this maybe. And open this in a new incognito window. And then essentially search this page for Magic Zap. And I found them right there. I found that script right there. You see my script?
It's in. Okay.
So now I should be able to go in and say name equals John and pre-fill that form information.
So once again, super simple, but can you show the process of, all you would do is you take that link, put it into a button, and just put the basically the user attributes or the parameters from there into the link, right? You would just, when they're clicking from the bot, you would just put those parameters into the link that they're clicking? Correct.
Once again, super simple, Hector. But once again, let's just go balls to the wall. Let's just go balls to the wall and bot training, all right? In the bot, and just make a little, I mean, this part is really even simple. So make a little card, so bot training, some awesome bot training, sign up. This would be really cool if I could do that, Chat Fuel. If I could do that, like create dynamic inside the bot. Fuck, I'm dead, man. Sign up now. Anyway, so I'm just going to create some URL and then essentially go in and let's come back real quick to this guy, all right? And just look at everything else that's there. So let's look at this guy. His name is email, and let's look at Magic Zap. He's got email, who has a name, and then let's also look and see what else he has. He has best phone number, inspect, and that guy is, name is phone. All right. And hold on, let me not do that there because that was essentially the complete wrong spot to do that. That's not the script I actually created this on. I created that on this invoice and use script. So I'm pretty sure I created it on this one because he already had that there, name, email, phone. All right. So this invoice and use script already has it on there, and I can just verify that that's the one that I put on there. All right, by looking at this guy, the last couple 251 EB, and I could just look at this guy and look back at this script. .251 EB and verify that he's the right guy. So then I can just come right back here into this chatbot, and essentially what I'm going to do is grab this link right here inside the chatbot, and I'm going to do that, and I'm going to say and name equals John. Oh, sorry, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do this name. I'm going to reference these guys. And email equals email. And phone equals phone number. And then I'm going to grab this guy and put him in there as the URL. And he's going to be done. And I'm going to give some, I need to give some image, you know, and for the sake of this, I'll just put this image in because the image is not really so important. Because I'm just going to delete this later. So here you should put an awesome, engaging image, because if nobody clicks the thing, then no matter how cool this thing is, if no one clicks it, then it doesn't work and nothing happens because it needs somebody to click it. All right. So this is in the bot. So this was essentially in the bot. Let's go to AI, which is essentially add a rule in the bot, and let's reply with a block. And the bot should be a block there already called in the bot. It's in the bot. In the bot right there. Now let's ask that guy in the bot. Let's just make sure that this guy's all updated, and he does look like he's all updated. So here's a URL that I'm actually piping the guy out to. Okay, I'm just showing you that in the text for right now, just so that you can actually see what's going in here, what the user's actually clicking on. So the user's going to click on that, and that's going to take him to that actual page. And now all he's going to do is give me his credit card information, because all the other information's already filled up for him.
Boom! Guys, if your mind's not fucking blown, like, get your shit together.
Man, I need like 50 seconds. I got to pee real quick, man.
I got you, man. You go do your thing. So, guys, if this is not, man, if this is not like mind blowing for you, I don't know what will be. So let's to do, and I'm just gonna stop the share. So, guys, if you guys have questions about this stuff, then throw them down there. Otherwise, we're gonna keep rolling and talking more stuff on chatbots. But here's what we're really trying to do is we're trying to take your chatbot game, right, and take it from just level 1 and take it from that basic level up to intermediate, and then if you can put these things together, get it all the way up to an advanced. And the beautiful thing about it is I connected with John because I actually pay his developers to do the shit that I can't do. And that's what, that's why we're here. However, I remember the time in my business where I didn't have the ability to go out and pay anybody. So what we're doing is we're giving you the tools where if you want to DIY and do it yourself, these things are literally available for $1. So if you want to try out the $1 Agency Accelerator, drop an emoji. It's $1. You get all 5 of these softwares for a week. And then you get to see which ones you like, test them out. And our goal, the reason we call it the Agency Accelerator is because you have a host of tools that help you prospect, follow up with leads, convert leads, obviously all of the customizable stuff within the bot. So a ton of stuff that you can really do. So if you want access to that, just drop an emoji if you haven't gotten it. Liddy says, is Magic Zap associated with Zapier, or is it a standalone software? John, if you're back, you can.
Yeah, I'm back, man. I didn't have to pee for that long, but it is a Zapier application. So there's a Zapier app for it, but it is a standalone software, just like every other application on Zapier.
Yeah, what I think is helpful is if you want to share your screen again, you can actually show that you have a like it integrates directly with Zapier. It's actually one of the apps. You get a little link, and it actually integrates right with Zapier. so you don't like. It's fucking awesome because there's no real string togethers, right? This is something that goes directly into Zapier, and then from here, obviously you can do everything that you want. You know, everything that Zapier you can do now. It's at your taking.
Correct. It's a Zapier application. So I mean, every app on Zapier is its own application. Zapier, all it is an aggregator that allows people to define how their application works and allow other applications to talk to them and perform those functions.
Liddy says a week is not enough time to test. For sure. And then you can pay for it if you like it. So that's what it's there for. So you can see if you like it, and we'll let you take it on a date. And then if you want to marry it, well, you got to pay up a little bit. So
yeah, and obviously, heck, if it doesn't work for somebody, we're always here. And obviously, if it's that big of a deal, people can always cancel, right? They can always cancel, and they don't actually have to. They definitely don't have to continue paying for it if it's not something that they're able to. I mean, a week is literally enough time. I think that a week is enough time to actually understand the software and understand the value of it. And whether you implement it or not, because you have a bunch of other stuff that you're doing and you don't have enough time to actually focus on the chatbot side of your company. If that's the case, then always just talk to me or Hector, because I mean we have Hector's employed a whole team of software engineers here, and if it wasn't for Hector, we really wouldn't have a bot program here, because he's essentially consumed pretty much all of our engineering resources, and it's kind of the whole reason that we implemented like a bot development team. So if that's what you're lacking, then just if you need some help on the bot side, then obviously let somebody know. But I think a week is enough time to actually know what the softwares do and implement them on your own. So because we just implemented this one in less than 2 hours.
Yeah. Hey, Jodine, we don't have that answer yet. Kevin says add another $1. Liddy says, can we avoid Zapier? I don't know that you'd want to. I'll ask you this, John, since we were talking about, I know this obviously works really easily with Zapier. We're going to leave it at that. This works really easy with Zapier. We'll have a talk offline about some other softwares that people have been asking about. Let me go in and see if there's any other questions in here that are out there. So let's circle back around to Link Wizard. I know we talked about it at the beginning, but let's, just for the people who are hopping on right now at the end, the other one, right, Liddy, if you want to kind of avoid Zapier and you don't want to get too crazy with the customization, Link Wizard is actually a great tool that you can use to segment people. You can pixel people. You can put them into you can obviously go into your event manager and your Facebook audiences and create custom audiences right here. What am I missing, John, that the Link Wizard can do that I'm just not hitting on?
Well, in its current capabilities, nothing really. So in its current capabilities, I guess there's a few other things that it can do. Are you leaving? Yeah. I guess there's a few other things in its capabilities that it can actually do. Like you can create a little ad page. So essentially, you can create like a little middleman landing page where you're going to give some image. You're going to give what you want your delay time to be, and then you're going to give the actual content of the page, and whenever the user is actually redirecting, they're going to see that little temporary splash ad. They're going to see that little image.
Wait. What is that? Love that. I don't know what that is. You just talked about that. So whenever you click it, there's like, it says, we're redirecting you in like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You're essentially saying that you can replace that with anything that you want.
Yeah, you can create your own little ad there that the users
can you adjust the time on it too?
Yeah, you can go in and change it to, let's say 7 seconds, and then
is the minimum 5 or
no?
Okay. Is there a minimum?
Nope. I think there must be like a minimum of 1 or something. I'm not sure.
Right. Obviously, it has to be 1. Okay. That's stellar. That is stellar. I didn't know that. I thought that was just kind of a generic one that you had to kind of work with. So right here, that's great. That's so great. So guys, it makes it easy to to customize these links, you put these links into your bot, and then all of a sudden you've got pixeled audiences of people going to your bot. And obviously you can integrate this with Magic Zap and make them all work together. So you also have tracking here too. What do they track? What is it tracking here?
Well, right now it just tracks basic stuff. So the countries where it's coming from, the platforms that people are clicking on, the different browsers, and the referring channels. So the referrer, who's actually giving out this link that people are clicking, where are they finding this link at, what platforms are they on, what browsers are they using, and what countries are they coming from. So pretty standard stuff.
All right. So let's kind of wrap this thing up. And there's one last step that's lingering out there that we've talked about it ad nauseum here, but man, I think one thing that's really going to help people is just knowing how to use this stuff. So for you guys, if you're not using Zapier, then you're really not getting the most out of your bot, because right now that is the best, paired with some of these other softwares, that is the best way to do it. So once they've landed on it, we talked about like triggering this Zap. We still need to do something in Zapier to actually tell the bot or come back with a message for the bot. So can you just kind of finish off the Zap and show how you would actually send a message back to the user?
Yeah. So with ChatFuel, it's pretty. It's pretty straightforward. So here's the ChatFuel one. All right. And I actually removed the trigger there. So let's delete this guy. Here's the ChatFuel one that we had. All right. So essentially, I showed you that one, right? This one, this first one, that the user clicks on this guy, right, or this guy, and then he gets a notification. So for ChatFuel, it's pretty simple. So we're gonna have a webhook that essentially our first webhook. Okay. So what our first webhook is doing is it's taking the IP address from the user that has just fired that Zap, and it's getting back a geolocation for us. So essentially, it's just hitting this API right here. And this is a free API. We're just hitting this API, and this API is taking as an input the client's IP address, and then it's giving back what the geolocation is for that IP range. That makes sense? That's unnecessary, but that's something that we can do. Like you see here, my guy is actually responding back to me and saying that that I see that you're in Kolkata, India, which is where I'm sitting at.
I see. Right? That's what it was. That's why you needed that step.
Correct. It's not necessary, but this, so many people, I even seen in ChatFuel and ManyChat group before I got banned from there. ChatFuel, obviously they haven't fucking banned me yet. I expect I honestly, Hector, expect every group that I ever walk into Facebook probably gonna fucking ban me. I'm glad that me and you have kicked it off and you haven't banned me and we get along. But that's typically my expectation. But anyways, I've seen everybody in both those groups, like, how can we get the user location from the user without asking the user for their location? So specifically, we edited Magic Zap just to include the IP address, just so you could essentially get a good inference, like a really good guess of where the user's located without him ever having to actually give you that information. Because I've seen so many people saying, hey, how can we do this? And I was like, I got a software for that now. So that's why that step's happened, just so we can infer the geolocation. But here's the actual part in ChatFuel. So as you can imagine, Hector, you've seen this so many times. This is just in ChatFuel. This is just, if you go to ChatFuel and you go to configure and you go to the broadcast guy right here, you go to this guy right here. This guy gives you more information and he says, hey, how do you call the broadcast API? And he's like, look, you can call the API either this way or you can call it this way. And in Zapier, I'm just calling it that way. And I'm just saying, hey, send this broadcast. So essentially send a user to the ChatFuel block called visited website. So somewhere in here, I must have a block, if I could go in and find it, called visiting website in here, right there. And you can see that I say, hey, I see you just visited my website, and I have a variable called website visited. I also inferred you as some city in some country, and I just go populate that from here. I say, hey, go send the user to that block and populate the website visited variable with the data coming from step 1 which is something that Magic Zap gives you. Magic Zap says, hey, here's the URL that the user just clicked that fired the script, and also update the assumed city to the address that I found by doing the geo lookup of the IP, and set the assumed country also to some data coming from that lookup. And that's it, really straightforward, just called the broadcast API. If this is ManyChat, if we were doing this in ManyChat, here's what we would do if we were doing it in ManyChat. All right, 2 different things we could do if we were doing it in ManyChat. I don't know why we would do it in ManyChat, because as soon as we start doing it in ManyChat and they see us doing it, they'll just fucking ban our accounts again. But let's say we were doing it in ManyChat because our name isn't John Vaughn and ManyChat doesn't hate us and they'll allow us to use their software. ManyChat will allow us both to pay for their software, but they'll only allow you to use it. So the page is not pro. This page isn't pro because I guess they finally canceled my pro accounts.
How decent of them? You mean they stopped charging you?
Correct. We would essentially grab this guy's user ID from this, and we'd put in whatever our text message we wanted here, or we'd come in here to them again, and we would pick that send content to user. We would pick this send content to user, and then demo bot, I guess, also isn't pro anymore because they're like, I hate you. And we do the same thing, right? We'd essentially use the messenger ID from step 1, and then whatever piece of content we wanted to use from there. So pretty straightforward how we do it in ManyChat, right?
Yep.
Easy.
Easy stuff. So, guys, if you guys have questions, throw them down there. You know, one thing Liddy mentioned, which I'm just going to throw out to you, John, maybe get your brain spinning, because I've heard a lot of people in my bot group ask about this, but is the mobile wallet pass with like coupons, reservations, and stuff like that. Do you see how any of these softwares could potentially create kind of a coupon?
What are we going to do with the coupon?
So the coupon would be like, okay, if you subscribe to the bot, you're going to get 10% off of your next meal. And then when you come in, you're going to be able to redeem the coupon, and that coupon dies and then won't be able to be redeemed anymore. That's basically their use case.
I don't see any of these that can do it out of the box right now. No, Hector. I don't see anything right out of the box on how we could do that. But what I do see, Hector, is if you remember Chatbogo, what I do see is a great use case and a pretty easy scenario from my perspective where I sit, managing a software firm, having 30 engineers that work for me. I just calculated earlier, it was like, as far as raw engineering resource that we can output and what we consider billable, we do 4,000 hours a month worth of software engineering here, the raw production, not including any of the managerial overhead. So I think it's something that we could just, have like an open discussion with the people in your group that are interested in it. Anybody that would say, yeah, this is something that we would definitely use and we would put to use and we have a need from this, and essentially get those people together and say, okay, here's the use case, define the use case, come up with an actual cost, have some people before that actually wanted to invest in the thing and give a larger chunk of money, and other people who just say, I'll pay some money right now just to be able to use this thing whenever you guys build it, and go ahead and get the funds for it so I don't have to fund it out of my pocket, and then just build the damn thing, and then everybody has it, and there's a solution for it. And we'll know it will work because it will be a custom solution for exactly what you want and exactly what you need. And we don't actually have to try to tie in 5 or different things together to make it work. We just build something that does exactly what you want it to do. So, and that's essentially what I did right here with Magic Zap, just for my bot students, Hector. So like I built this software specifically just to fill this need in the chatbot industry. So how long did this take me? This took me essentially, let's talk about this. 3 months is essentially what it took me to get everything actually working, where I can be comfortable knowing that there's multiple people in there, multiple people signed in, multiple people having all their own little, their accounts and their own little Zapier connection and their own, a bunch of different scripts that are firing, and it continued to perform and work. Like 3 months it took me to actually develop that with one developer. So I'm definitely a custom solution that we could build just for them if there's enough interest in. and as long as I don't have to pay for it out of my pocket.
This is a lot of opportunity, guys. So if you guys have any questions, throw them down there. If you guys haven't gotten access to the $1 Agency Accelerator, drop an emoji and we'll get that to you. We've already had a bunch of people been signing up for it. And what's cool is that the number one thing that we've found is that they want to know how to utilize these, because they're so powerful. There's 5 tools and 5 softwares. And Lee says that, I think that if you dive into them, you will be able to really figure out which ones you like. And then you can utilize those ones and you don't have to keep anything. You don't have to pay for anything that you don't use. So if you guys want access to that there, just drop an emoji and we'll get you all that info. But guys, we have let me see. I feel like we have a few more days left in this 7 days of training that John and I committed to. So I want to go ahead and take a look at that, because we had a couple of people ask what's coming up, and I want to make sure that you guys, oh, that's not the right one. Here we go over here. So I want to make sure that you guys have an idea of what is coming up the next few days and what we're going to be doing trainings on. So we went back. The first day was really about an overview of all the softwares. We touched on all of them. Today, we went over how to use Magic Zap, how to use Link Wizard. We've also covered prospecting, follow-up. I actually did some live, we went over SMS marketing. We went over email marketing. I actually did some live prospecting here in the group. John on the first day actually did some live cold calling here in the group on that as well. So I'm trying
That one was great. I mean, that one was great and showed if you have wits about you as a salesperson, as a hustler, that one really showed how the software will pay for itself over and 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 over again, man. Easily.
So here's
that one's you got 5 minutes of time, run a search, go make a cup of tea, come back and be prepared to do your sales game and sign some clients.
That's exactly it. Guys, I don't know if you guys, I'm getting jittery here thinking about all the possibilities for you guys. So we talked about integrating your bot with your website and Zapier, and then tomorrow, John, what do you think about talking about creating an affiliate bot? I know that that software is possible. Do you think tomorrow we could show people how easy it would be to set that up, and then we could set up on the training the affiliate for the dollar program? Do you think that's capable to do in an hour and a half or an hour and whatever we take?
To be honest, I don't know if building the whole thing is capable. I think of having a lot of it built and kind of showing and how it works is totally capable.
Sweet.
But I mean, to build the whole thing, we can definitely build the whole thing and it's capable. I don't think it can be done in an hour and a half, because essentially we have the part of allowing a user to come in and become a bot affiliate, to promote stuff and registering that actual person, so registering him, getting his affiliate ID.
Well then fuck it. Let's just show it tomorrow. Can we show it tomorrow?
Yeah, so I've got a lot of it built already. So yeah, we could definitely show a lot of it, and then I can work on getting any part. I think the only part that I don't actually have ready is and actually I think I do have it all ready, because I think I demoed it before, as far as actually having affiliate products in there and allowing users to go in and actually purchase those affiliate products and showing the actual commission being attributed to the affiliate. Well, I didn't
set up. You've already
I didn't finish the final tracking where you could go in and actually look at an affiliate and see how many total sales he has, and how many people he's referred and what people those are and how much he's made so far. I didn't finish up that final accounting. I just did a single use case of whenever a purchase happens, notifying him that a new commission and sale has happened. But I didn't finish, adding up and keeping up a running total of how many commissions he's accumulated and to be able to pay him out or anything.
No, I mean, man, you already have most of it built out. I think just showing them these possibilities is huge. So whatever is ready tomorrow, let's just kind of show them the options. And if it's available to launch, great. If they have to wait a few days or a week or whatever it is, I mean, just kind of showing them the possibilities of they hit a button, they got an affiliate link, now they've got an income opportunity.
So essentially, from the training perspective, I think from the training perspective, all that should really be, Hector, is how to set up the back end stuff of the affiliate and attribute sales and everything using Invoicing You, how to set it up in Invoicing You, and everything else could essentially just be a bot template, right? We could have the whole bot for the most part just as a template that, because it's going to be a chat fuel template that they could get, because I know you love giving those away. So
fucking A. Okay, cool. Well, let me know, guys, would you guys be excited about that, about getting and learning how to do affiliates with the click of a button, and then also you guys having some of this stuff? I don't know if we're going to give that away yet, John, but we'll see. So guys, if you guys have any questions, throw them down there. John and I have been talking for over an hour, and I appreciate you guys hanging out with us. If you guys need info on the Dollar Agency Accelerator, then make sure you drop an emoji and we'll get that info to you. It's 5 softwares for a whole week along with some trainings, so it's going to be good. Liddy says, are these 5 tools separable if we already have comparable software like SMS? Of course. So you can use all the softwares. You can keep one. You can cancel all of them. They're all available to you for sure. Kevin, you will be able to use. We'll show you how it can integrate with with affiliate stuff. So how you guys can. What I'm actually doing right now is I'm creating an affiliate, a bot for an affiliate group or an MLM group, and showing them how they can use the bot to grow their team as well. So lots of cool opportunities, guys. So make sure you guys turn on subscriptions. Apparently, people weren't getting notifications about this stuff, and I'm over here getting all butthurt because no one's coming on my live videos. So yes, Facebook changed the stuff, so you guys need to turn on notifications. I think at the bottom you hit notifications, hit the green button, or do something to make sure that you guys see these videos. But anything else, John, you want to add before we get out of here?
No, I think I don't think there's anything really from my side, man. I think these are pretty straightforward. I mean, obviously these things are so easy for me to use because literally I'm the guy saying, hey man, I need a software just to do this particular thing because it solves a problem for me and what else I'm doing. So they're pretty easy and intuitive for me to use because they came out of my brain and I've built them. So.
Well, more than anything, they're super practical, is the biggest thing. For you, your job as a marketer, as a business owner, as a developer, is to figure out how you can actually utilize these things. It's not the software's fault. That's for damn sure. It's your ability to apply the softwares, and also, where we're growing and the reason why we're giving it away for $1 is because we need to know which ones you like, which ones you don't like, why you like it. What trainings, what questions do you have? What could we help you? These are not new softwares, but John has been using them all in his own, to build his own agency and built his own firm. And that's how he's been able to grow so quickly. But now, he's been kind enough to kind of give them to the public. And in doing that, we need your help to figure out how to package it the best, and then how to make sure that you guys are trained up the most so you can utilize it as well. So drop an emoji if you guys want info on them, and we'll get you all that. And tomorrow, come back and learn how you can make money with chatbots, affiliate style. All right, we're going to call it. John, go to sleep. Thank you for being up late, man. Appreciate it.
No, I still got work to do, man. So wait a minute. I still got to finish the final touches on this PC that I just put together in anticipation for. I put two new PCs together in anticipation of getting these wrists, man. So
it's gonna be exciting times, guys. It's just getting started. Look over for the HD and the T5 takeover. All right, dude. Have an amazing one. We'll talk tomorrow.
Yeah. See ya.
Peace.